so that we can doodle on it, you know?
All right. You ready, Mr. Carver?
Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Carver, where did you go to school, and you know why did you decide on that location, and what did you major in?
I attended the University of Georgia in Athens, Georgia. Grew up in South Carolina. A lot of my friends were going to USC. I wanted to go out of state, meet a whole new group of friends, and I heard they had an excellent business school. My father went to Georgia Tech. He said it was way too hard. Go to Georgia, get a good business education, and actually mix some fun in. And I probably overdid it on the fun. I did major in real estate and finance, and had an incredible time.
All right, I understand that out of state. I'm from Vermont, so. All right, so Mr. Carver, you're a motivational speaker. Tell us what or who inspired you to be a motivational speaker, and how did that make an impact on your life?
Yeah, I'm a motivational speaker. I say business motivation. I speak about, and in context, I speak about entrepreneurship, mental toughness, self-responsibility. I was inspired. I mean, I've got some incredible mentors like Tony Robbins and Stephen Covey. I had a friend who was an international speaker trainer, a roadie, if you will, for Richard Robbins. His name is Chip Eichelberger. He's one of the top speakers in the country, and I met him in 1998 and saw what he was doing for Tony Robbins, and it planted a seed, and I was always inspired by that model. And 2004, I had the opportunity to become a roadie for another speaker out in Los Angeles, and it's one way that you can get into the speaking business without having all of your own content prepared as you go on the road and deliver somebody else's content. It's an exciting, easy way to get into the speaking business without really the outlay of capital.
Okay. So, what would you say would be the best piece of advice to give to someone who was planning to get a job or start their own business?
I would say the best piece of advice for someone looking to start a job or get their own business, certainly measure twice, cut once, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship and starting your own business. I mean, going to work for somebody else is a lot less risky than going into business for yourself. The model's already built. You're just plugging into an existing system that's hopefully got traction and is creating revenues. Starting your own business is an entirely different world and conversation. You got to be capitalized. You have to have a business plan. You have to have a market need. You've got to be extremely mentally tough. Really more important than anything, you've got to be tenacious and mentally tough and have the stomach to go out there and start something on your own. There's nothing easy about it. But there's so many fine universities now that are teaching entrepreneurship that it's really bringing the failure rates of startups down.
All right. So you wrote a book called Stand in the Heat. Tell us the process behind writing the book and what it's about.
Yeah, I wrote a book called Stand in the Heat. It's a vision that came to me on February 2nd, 2010 when I was stuck in rush hour traffic in Atlanta, Georgia. At the time I was 42 years old, had a brand new, beautiful 3-month-old baby at home, and a bank account on absolute vapors. And there in the solitude of my car, I heard a very clear voice. I don't know if it was God or my conscience, but I heard, Glenn, stand in the heat. Don't freak out. So I literally had a vision for this book, this platform on that morning, and believing that entrepreneurship, I believe that regardless of race, religion, or politics, entrepreneurship is more important than ever. And I've always been more of an entrepreneur wannabe. I've never started and built and sold a massive company like some of these incredible entrepreneurs that I study and have interviewed. But I said, you know what, I want to validate that entrepreneurship is more important than ever, so I sought out to interview some incredible people, men, women from all different industries and walks of life, and compiled a book of 15 people and wrapped my experiences all around it. And turned out to be, I believe, a very powerful message, and actually got a couple incredible testimonials from one of my mentors, the legendary Brian Tracy. So it's been an incredible experience.
You've worked with several different companies such as entrepreneurships and sales over the past years. What would you say is something that you enjoyed most when you worked with these different types of business owners?
Yeah, I've worked with 4 training organizations now, and we've coached and trained a lot of entrepreneurial organizations, a lot of sales organizations. And I think what is ultimately gratifying is helping an organization increase their sales and increase revenues, because it feeds everybody. You know, somebody once said that if you're not in business, if you're not growing, you're dying. And it's so true. Our whole capitalist system is based on growth. And when you can help a business owner or an entrepreneur make a distinction, have some insights that take their business from this level to this level and increases sales and increases revenues and more money hits the bottom line, it just creates a better lifestyle for everyone. So helping those people impact their business lives and ultimately their personal lives, very gratifying.
All right. Now, how much would you say you've learned from working with these people?
I would say I've learned an infinite amount about working with the people that I've worked with, and it never ends. I'm a lifelong student. I'm a voracious reader. I feel like I'm standing at the feet of giants with some of the people that I've had the chance to associate with and work with, and the learning continues, but it's been incredible. The learning's been endless.
What would you say are the most important qualities an entrepreneur should possess in order to make his business work?
Yeah, in my book, Stand in the Heat, H is an acronym. It's for 4 characteristics that I believe every entrepreneur has to have to be successful, to start, grow, build, exit a company. H is for honor. You've got to, I believe most entrepreneurs were probably working for somebody else. They had an entrepreneurial seizure and went out on their own. So they're honoring something in their gut. They're honoring their purpose or passion or something they feel like they have to do. You got to be massively enthusiastic and passionate. Enthusiasm is the E in heat. A is for action, actually massive action. Got to take massive action every day. And then T is for tenacity. The entrepreneurs that I've associated with and had the fortune of interviewing for the first book, what they have in common is they're absolutely tenacious. They would never quit. They'd walk through minefields and get their limbs blown off. They would never quit. They would find a way to finish the game. And it's been very inspiring.
All right. Now, pardon me. Now, if a business owner wants to take their company to the next level to really stand out, how might they go about doing that?
Yeah, if a business owner wants to take their company to the next level, I'd like to quote management guru Peter Drucker. Peter Drucker said, all business is a function of 2 things and 2 things alone. Those 2 things are innovation and marketing. So if you want to rise above the noise, everything else is a derivative of innovation and marketing. So if you want to drive your business, rise above the noise, go to the next level, you've got to create a product or service that's a little more innovative, and you've got to tell the world about it. Unfortunately, with the advent of social media and the internet, it's easier now more than ever to market a product and get the word out to the world. You know, we're looking at having 3 billion new people enter the internet, come online over the next 10 years. So we live in a global economy, the world is flat, better time now than ever to get the word out about your product or service and grow a company.
Okay. Now, since we're out of university, what sort of classes would you really stress for our students to take if they want to be a successful entrepreneur?
Wow. The classes that are available now at some of the fine universities for learning entrepreneurship, well, first of all, many more. I think there's 600 universities now teaching entrepreneurship. You can now get master's and PhD in entrepreneurship, which is incredible. It didn't exist 20 years ago when I was in school. So entrepreneurship, finance, got to know the numbers, certainly marketing, and last but not least, a lot more schools are now teaching sales. And sales is critical. You can have the best product or service in the world, but if you can't sell it, it's useless. And I once read a book that said, production minus sales equals scrap. Somebody's got to sell the product. Nothing, as my dad taught me when I was a kid, nothing happens until the cash register rings.
So, Stand in the Heat was your first book. Can you share with us any other exciting projects you might have, or, that you will have in the works?
Yes, Stand in the Heat was my first book, and it was a phenomenal experience. For me, it was like running a marathon or climbing Mount Everest. I'm currently working on my second book. It's entitled Unleash Your Inner Entrepreneur, How Visionary Leaders Inspire Innovation. And in this book, I'm really going further up the mountain. I'm interviewing some of the top thought leaders and entrepreneurs and CEOs in the country about how they're inspiring innovation in their organizations. So very excited about that. I've done my first 2 interviews, have my third scheduled for a couple weeks from now. And I'm also, as of last week, I'm an equity partner in a technology company that's got a patent pending on video technology that we feel very, very good about. And hopefully I can come back here in 2 or 3 years and tell you an amazing story.
That would be really exciting. We'll certainly look forward to that.
Well, thank you very much. This has been fantastic, and I look forward to seeing you again.
And again, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.